Right, so we're going to go ahead and look at some questions today out of 1.3. I'm not going to work these out completely. What I'm going to do is get you to the point where you have the equation, and then you can solve the equation from there. So we'll break this video up into a couple of pieces, and we're going to first begin with question 8. And I've already drawn the diagram out for question 8, but let's go ahead and read question 8. So question 8, we have a square plywood platform, and this plywood platform has a perimeter, which is 6 times the length of a side, decreased by 8. We need a square, and since we have a square, we know then that all the sides are going to be the same. So we're going to call all the sides x here. Now the perimeter is the sum of all the sides. And if we sum up all these sides, then our perimeter, if we add up all of our sides here, our perimeter is then going to be 4x. All right? And what we're going to do is we're now going to work with this perimeter. And it says a square plywood platform has a perimeter which is 6 times the length of a side, decreased by 8. So that means your perimeter equals 6 times the length of a side, and then we're going to decrease that by 8. So we're going to put a minus 8 here. Now we know the perimeter is 4x, and we know the side is just going to be x. So that's going to be 6x minus 8. So there's your equation. You can go ahead now and finish out this equation, solve it, and you will find the value of x, which is going to be the length of the side of a square. So you can finish it from here, but now you have the equation. That question involved a geometric figure. The next one is going to be involving a total. So we're going to have two different things added together to give you a total. So for question number 9, we're going to look at two types of goldfish. So Gloria collected 18 fantail and comet goldfish. So that 18, well, that's going to represent your total. And it says there were 10 fewer fantails than comets. And we specifically want to know how many comets Gloria had. So when you work this out, go ahead and get both the comet and the fantail goldfish, and then find the comets. Circle that, and that'll be your answer. So be sure to get both. That way you give me the right answer. So let's start with that 18. What does that 18 mean? That's going to be your total. So the total then is going to be the fantail plus the comet goldfish. So let me move this up so we can see what we've got here. So that's going to be your total. And total is, again, the fantail plus those comet goldfish. And we know in this case that our total is 18. And we need to see how these goldfish relate to each other. How does the fantail relate to the comets? Well, it says there were 10 fewer fantails than comets. Okay, so 10 fewer fantails than comets. So we've got comets, and we've got fantail. Now, how do they relate to each other? Well, it says there were 10 fewer fantails than comets. So your fantails then is going to be your comets minus 10. Okay, so comets minus 10 is going to be your fantail. And what do we know about the comets? We don't know anything. So we're going to use the variable x. Now we can rewrite this with only the variable x. So our comets are going to be x. Our fantails are going to be x minus 10. Now we have everything that we need to build our equation. So our fantails is x minus 10. The comets is x. And they sum together to give you 18. We'll go ahead and solve this out. And I want you to go ahead and find both the comets and the fantail. And what we want in this case is we want to know how many comets she had. So x represents comets, but go ahead and get them both. So you can finish that equation from here. Okay, question number 11. Similar problem on question number 11. We're looking at, again, a total. In a recent school board election, there were 2 candidates for president, and they received 1,957 votes. The loser received 1,269 votes fewer than the winner. How many votes did the winner receive? So very, very similar to the last one. And this is going to be question 11. We have a total. And that total is going to be the winners plus the losers. And we know that total, in this case, is 1957. And again, that's going to be the winners plus the loser. And how do these relate to each other? Well, it says the loser received 1,269 fewer votes. So just like we did a moment ago with the goldfish, when we look at the losers, that's going to be the winner minus 1,269. The number of winners we don't know, or winning votes we don't know, so we'll use an X to represent that. Now we can rewrite this as the number of winners. Winning votes will be X. The loser had then X minus 1,269. Now we can build our equation. So we've got 1957. That's going to be your winners, which is number of winning votes, which is X, plus the loser with the fewer votes, which is then X minus 1,269. And then you can finish it from there. And I want you to work it out, find both the winner and the number of votes the winner received, and the number of votes the losing candidate received. And again, they should give you now that 1957. So solve for X, but find both the winning votes and the losing votes. We'll do one more for this half of the video. So let's now look at question number 12. And question number 12 is a percentage problem. So let's see what we have here. Question number 12. After receiving a discount of 13.5% on its bulk order typewriter ribbons, John's office supply pays $5,000 $882. What was the price of the orders before the discount? Now, since this is a discount, it's going to be subtracted. So what do we know now? Well, we have the price that we paid. And that already includes your discount. So the price that you paid is going to be the original price minus, because it's subtraction, some percentage of that original price. Okay, so we should now be able to build this equation and work it out. Okay, now how much did we pay? Well, in this case, we paid $5,882. And then the original price, well, that's unknown. So we'll use an X to represent that original price. And what about the discount? Well, the discount rate is that 13.5%. So as a decimal, that's 0.135. So that's going to be now X. That represents your original price. And then this represents the discount. And that's 0.135 times X. All right. Well, let's go ahead and work this one out, just because there's not much to this one. I'm going to put a 1 here, because I know sometimes students get confused with the decimal, so we'll put a 1 there. And we're going to go ahead and subtract. So we've got 1 minus 0.135. And that came out to be 0.865. And don't forget your X there. That equals 5,882. We'll divide now by our decimal. And that leaves me then with, when we divide out, 5,882. We'll divide that out by 0.865. And that gives you now 6,800. So that's the original price before our discount. So the original price is $6,800. So that's going to be your original price. So we worked out several questions. And the next video, we're going to look at some of the more complicated ones. We're going to look at the mixture and the investment problems. So there'll be another video after this one called Part 2. And we'll look at some of the more complicated mixture and investment problems.